I lived in Camden, London for nearly 3 years while attending UCL. It wasn't the best area, but it had character, and the rent was dirt cheap. My flat was on the second floor of this old Georgian-style building that had clearly seen better days. There were 4 flats total. Mine was 2B. Above me, 3B, had supposedly been empty for over a decade. The previous tenant had died. Suicide, I think. The neighbors avoided talking about it. Still, I'd sometimes hear what I assumed were squatters. Light footsteps. A chair scraping, occasionally even water running, though the flat's plumbing was supposedly disconnected. One night in December, around 2:30 a.m. I was half asleep when I heard a distinct knock above me. 3 knocks. Then nothing. The next night, it happened again. Same time. Same spot. 3 slow, spaced-out knocks. I finally told the property manager. He swore 3B was sealed and offered to check it with me the following day. We went up. The air was ice cold. There was frost on the inside of the windows, in April. Nothing looked lived in, but something felt off. In the corner of the living room was a small chair facing the wall, and on the plaster, someone had scratched a message over and over, "Still here. Still here. Still here." We left quickly. That night, I couldn't sleep. At 2:30 a.m. I turned off all the lights and waited. 2:31, 2:32. The knock didn't come from the ceiling this time. It came from inside the wardrobe. I moved out 3 days later. That building has since been demolished. But sometimes, I still hear that knock in my dreams. 3 times. Always 3.
I'm not one to believe in ghost stories, but this still makes me question everything. In 2022, I was doing a photo project on so-called haunted locations across England. One of the most notorious spots is Deering Woods near Pluckley, also called the Screaming Woods. Locals told me not to go alone. I laughed. I went alone. Obviously. I arrived around 4 p.m. It was already getting dark, so I set up my tripod near a twisted, dead tree. The air was strangely still. No birds, no wind. I heard something rustling behind me, a girl. Couldn't have been older than 9 or 10, pale skin, dark dress, barefoot. She didn't say anything. Just stood there staring. I tried to talk to her, but she turned and walked into the trees. I followed, calling out, thinking maybe she was lost. But the deeper I went, the darker it got, unnaturally fast. I looked at my phone. No signal. After maybe 20 minutes, I found a clearing. There, at the center, was a doll. Hand-sewn, old, lying face down. As I bent to pick it up, a voice behind me whispered, "You're not supposed to see her." I turned. Nothing. No one. I ran, fully lost now, when I saw her again, same girl, but this time she looked wrong. Her face was too smooth, too still, like a porcelain mask. And her eyes? Hollow. I finally made it back to the path and to my car, completely shaken. I posted about the experience online. Weeks later, I got a message from a woman in Kent. She sent me an old newspaper scan. A girl named Annabelle Kent went missing in those woods in 1954. Last seen in a black dress, barefoot. She was 9 years old. The picture matched perfectly.
I used to work for TfL, monitoring archived CCTV feeds from old stations and platforms. It was mostly boring, but Aldwych was different. Shut down since the 90s, but we kept cameras there for security. One night shift, I noticed something strange. At 2:43 a.m. a camera picked up movement. Just a flicker of motion on the southbound platform. The station had no access anymore, but I rewound the feed. Frame by frame, I saw what looked like a person, stepping out of the tunnel. A man in a 1940s suit and bowler hat. No flashlight. No gear. Just walking slowly toward the edge of the platform. Then, a train arrived. That's impossible. Aldwych hasn't been serviced in decades. No trains run through it. But there it was, sleek, clean, silent. No lights. Doors opened. The man stepped inside, never looking at the camera. Doors closed. Train vanished into the tunnel. No sound. I clipped the footage and brought it to my supervisor. She just stared at it and then, without a word, deleted the file. "You didn't see anything," she said. A week later, I got a letter at home. No return address. Inside, just a printout of a photograph. Black and white. Dated 1941. A photo of platform staff during World War II. The man in the bowler hat stood in the back. Smiling. Same face. The note at the bottom, "He always catches the last train." These aren't just stories. They're warnings. If you hear knocking in the night, don't answer. If a child leads you into the woods, don't follow. And if you ever see a train where there shouldn't be one, don't get on. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. And remember, real horror doesn't need monsters. Just time.